wanted to draw something, but I couldn't get myself to. I mean, what should I even draw? And then I found about this guy called John Koenig. He wrote a dictionary called Obscure Sorrows. It's filled with so many complex and interesting words that he came up with, but one that particularly stuck out to me in the moment was ellipsism. So I guess let's draw that. But first let's draw a few boxes to get some ideas. And now it's time for some doodles. But you probably wonder, why did I choose this word out of so many of them? Well, I think that was the one with an interesting potential, and they have a few of them more in plan to fit into this, let's call it, series. But anyways, this one I felt the potential to get some emotions out of me and combine it with the paper. And of course that I found my own meaning though, which is being sad and disappointed because you won't be able to see past the point where your life ends. You won't be able to see all the great things that are gonna happen, which is connected to the future past the point of your life, but also could be interpreted as, and I like more this one, being sorrow and scared because you aren't able to know what will happen in the future. Therefore you're stuck in the moment with only knowledge from the past and end up confused because you don't know what will happen, but you keep going anyways. And that is what the drawing is gonna represent. I think that this one looks pretty interesting though, but I don't think he's good enough though. So let's try again. I really enjoy going through the whole process of coming up with the best idea, because you first throw in the idea that you first think that they're amazing, but they end up being mid, but still have the potential. And as the time passes, the idea overall gets better and it starts making more sense. And then that's when the first idea comes back in, cause now you can take best from each of them and create an ultimate idea. Like combining few low to mid quality items in a game and then turning them into a powerful one. I didn't think it was possible to gamify drawing, but there's that. By the way, I should probably explain to you what I'm drawing, because it's probably kind of hard to tell. While I'm trying to come up with the idea where a character is not able to see in front of him, because that's the role of ellipsism, but I don't want to show it in some boring way. And so the middle guy got some pretty interesting part, which is twisted neck, which you'll see soon. I love the right one, and let me spoil you, he won't be end result. I love the bizarre and weird art, so I might do him separately from this video because I love the idea. Then I might even put him on a wall. Lamo, I started saying that for every possible work of mine that at least a little resonates with me, and I don't know why. I think because I want to have him closer to me, kind of, to give him more meaning by putting him on a wall, and there's more friction to doing that than just doodling it, so it would feel more valuable and impactful to me if I did that. Imagine him sitting just above the table and looking what I'm working on with his ass. And I think I kind of like them, but something isn't right, and I just can't put my finger on it why and what's wrong about it, but something isn't working out for me. Well, on the first one, it's pretty dynamic and that's what I like about it, but neck is just not working out for me. And the second one, I love his neck, but his body pose, it's awful. And the third one, I don't know what to say about it, it's so weird. I don't think I will implement that, but there are some things that I like though. So let's take from the first one, energy, from second, Nick. Yeah, that's better. Neck. And from third one, I like his hands and the direction that he's going. So let's try again. By the way, I love to teach or even just to meet people, so if that sounds good to you, I would love to improve in that way by meeting my audience. So for some time, I will do free calls with you, but you should know that you need to be faster than the others because I cannot do a lot of calls, cause I don't have that much of a free time. So if you wanna get a new friend from the other side of the planet or you wanna improve your drawings, I'll be here for you and I'll do my best to give you the advice that you need. If that sounds good to you, just comment down below and I'll find a way to connect with you. I think that this is gonna turn out much better because, as I said, I combined all the best parts of previous characters to come up with the best idea. So now this one contains everything: the energy and movement from the first one, the weird neck from the middle one, even though it's not emphasized right now as much as it is in the end, but trust me, it ends up being the most important part of that character. And the hands gesture connected with the idea of not seeing forward works pretty amazing, as if some blind person or some kind of zombies walking, I don't know, and he's walking to something pretty great, or maybe not, but he has no clue otherwise. But now, this is even harder than the previous stage because I need to take this and then transfer it to the blank page and make it look pretty, at least 10 times better. First, I draw a circle for a head and the energy line for the body pose, and a few circles for where the eyes will be and the shoulders. And then I use that for the instructions where to put the dimensions and anatomy. By the way, I had human anatomy opened on the computer, so that was my reference. And one tip that I would give you is always have a reference on you, because that is the only way to improve. I mean, think about it. By drawing without the reference, you're using only your limited knowledge and inspiration, and by having them references on, plus it ends up being more rewarding because you came up with something new to you, plus it is more realistic, relatable, and satisfying to the enjoyer of it, which might be you. And at the end of the day, that's how you learn the most and the fastest, because think about it, you're learning something new and implementing it right after. And not implementing it would be, imagine there is some random hole, let's say, not even expanded at all yet, just there waiting to be widened, and now imagine you spread that hole and leaving it open like that. And not implementing it would be as if you just left it like that, and implementing it would be, imagine like you're opening that hole again, then filling it up with some random stuff, it doesn't matter, but you just fill it up, and now it cannot go back to the previous position because you fill it with new stuff. And so by doing that a bunch of times, you end up expanding your hole. Or in other words, by finding new idea, you're opening a hole, a gap in your mind, and there are two options: action and non-action. By action, you're filling it with experiences, and by non-action, you're just letting it sink back in. But anyways, meanwhile, I as well focused on understanding 3D space around my character and how much of a dynamic perspective I wanted, while still focusing on anatomy. I placed the lungs in their placement so it would be more dimensional or something, I don't know. Then briefly added some masses, legs, arms, and the rest of the body, and also added hands and toes. And by the way, I simultaneously focused on the muscles and how will they react with the pose, which is really important. That will make or break your drawing illusion, because if you make it in the wrong way, it will feel kinda odd and you won't portray it very well, because they show your character's personality and how he reacts. If something is heavy or light, the only way for us spectators to feel it is through how muscles react to it. Is the movement that he's making unusual or focused and straight to the point? Is he drunk or is he just weirdly moving? I think that is the thing that made my work, at least for me, feel more real, even though it doesn't make sense, but you still can kind of imagine that there's possibility to be kind of weirdly real, right? And as you can see, I shaded the whole character until I realized that I messed up something. I mean, you can see that he kinda looks weird, right? Like some proportions aren't the size that they should be. Can you guess what it is? I literally checked the proportions at least 10 times because something wasn't right to me, and it was the head. And if I remember it well, there are 7 heads in the whole body, but I had like 4.5, and so that was what was weird to me. I checked, I looked on the screen, and I saw the guy there, the real size, and my guy, and they weren't compatible, and that's all because of the head size. So now finally it makes sense, and I love how neck turned out. I told you that it would look amazing. By the way, I looked at how rope looks like, so I used that for the reference for the neck. And that is kind of it. I just darkened the ambience and added the sunlight, so enjoy the reveal. Nice. So, what now? Oh fuck! Oh wait, I have an idea.